talk some 40K.
Yeah, let's do it. So, you're going to an event on Saturday, right?
42 people are going to COVID it up. We're going to be patient zero. We're going to kill it.
You're a super event.
I mean, technically, we're at GT at this point in time. The best part is one of the guys gave me shit because I have all kinds of shit I have to do. Sunday, I'm doing a bunch of repairs and everything else. And he's like, dude, you know this is a 2-day event. And I'm like, well, I hope I win by a lot in my first 3 games because I'm not going to be there. He's like, oh, I'm just fucking with you.
Awesome. So, what are you bringing?
I'm bringing the Sallies right behind me. Got some Vulcan.
Ooh,
Bro.
Boy.
Hey, watch this. Look how I'm going to show you how prepared I am today to talk about it. Kablam!
Oh,
Kablam!
Wow. It's a list.
And to be sure, it literally does say Big Dick Mantle of -1 to wound.
Because we don't know the names of the relics, right? That's.
Who needs names when you know what they do? So,
all right. So what you got?
I'm just gonna run through it. I love it. I mean, I'm super psyched for it. I debated on running some other stuff. I debated on getting crowns in the last minute, but I had shit for games with it. You know what I mean? And I really don't want to run Twilight, my old school, my Wolves and Blood Angels kind of thing, until the new books come out. You know what I mean? Next month, I'm super juiced to run Wolves and to run some Blood Angels in the next 2 months. But until then, I just kind of want to ride the tried and true. I've been playing a ton of Salamanders this year, so I'm starting off.
Might as well go with what you know.
Oh, 100%. So I'm firing up the bite cap. I've still got. He's basically going to be T7 -1 to wound. I'm bringing him with the fist and the storm shield, so he's sitting at a 2 up 4 up. He's just super hard to kill, super useful, and with Power Fist getting the flat 2 damage, and Thunderhammer's getting only AP 2. I just really like him to take out nonsense. And then you've got the Primaris Chaplain. I really hemmed and hawed about this. I said a lot about it in the streams this week. Whether I was going to make him a buff chaplain or whether I was going to make him a beatstick chaplain. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to make him kick ass. So I took, Master Sanctity, gave him the extra Warlord trait, gave him the extra relic. He's bringing the Benediction. He's got the Imperium Sword, Warlord trait. And then I took Mantra of Strength, and then I gave +1 to wound as his other power, because he can actually cast it on himself or some of my other units that are in kick-ass, hopefully.
Right.
I got 5 Assault Intercessors, and then my other 2 troops are 2 Infiltrators, and I still love Infiltrators. A lot of people are down on them now, but man, they stop the shenanigans, because they ruled before that this stops all of the abilities for like GSC and stuff like that from getting super close. So this stops the auto charge from Necrons, and it stops the abilities for Deathwing and stuff like that, where people just can get too close. So this still keeps people at 12 inches away. So you can't do super early game. Obviously, later in the game, you're going to be able to, but this keeps you the hell away from me with shenanigans and putting stuff right on top of me, a turn 1, turn 2 kind of stuff. After that, then I can push out. Bringing 9 liquid hot plasma inceptors, because they're just so good for so many reasons. You just have to. We talked about it a lot and last couple of videos and couple of streams and wherever else I am for going on about stuff where it's just you want people to get down to their invuln at least. You know what I mean? You want a consistent ability to pick shit up.
Yeah.
I'm bringing 3 Flamestorm Aggressors still. For Salamanders, it's hard not to take them because Flamecraft exists. Do you know what I mean? 3 guys for 120 points. I can just put out 36 auto hits that are +1 to wound. And even if I don't want to spend that, it's still 66. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get like a good amount period all the time. And it's just so good for their value. And they have, again, Power Fist that are flat 2 damage now. And that's so much better because you don't do, hey, what did you roll? 1 followed by 3, 1 followed by 3. You know what I mean? You're just 2. It's a dead guy, or when you go into the other guys, it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and they're getting a bad rap. They're actually still really good. Like, the 12-inch flamer really changed them.
You can take them as reserve now too. Yeah. That's the thing is you can come out of reserve and go, hey, I'm hitting you. You know what I mean? Especially those backfield kind of things where somebody's got some nonsense unit of 5 guys or whatever. You're like, okay, cool. Well, here's 36 hits. I'm winning you on 3s probably. AP -1. You're probably going away, and now I'm taking that objective. So I like them a lot. I made just a couple small. I put the 10 Vanguard vets. I've been loving on those guys. Jump pack, Storm Shield, Lightning Claw. The whole unit's got them. It's 280 for the whole thing. I put them together instead of 2 5s because I was kind of getting greedy about just having sergeants with +1 attack. But because I'm running the +1 to wound litany, and of course they have the salamander strat. If even if he's nowhere around, I can just throw it on those guys, and then the entire squad's +1. And then if I want 2 5s, I'll just split them up and do whatever I need to. But against in test games and stuff, against things like 20-man units of warriors and things of that nature, things that you need to put down now. They can do things, they can interrupt, they can do whatever, It's nice to have a unit that can just peel an entire deal. And at AP -2, it's super nice, obviously AP3 when you get into the assault doctrine. I did hear... Go ahead.
They have a fancy new stratagem, too, that is pretty good.
They do. Smash it. I like it so much better than the old one, because all I have to do is roll equal to their toughness or less for mortal wounds. So I'm looking at, obviously not 10 mortal wounds all the time, but man, especially if you're hitting lower toughness guys, you know what I mean? Like you get into Harlequins and shit like that. It's super nice to basically go 50% or more, getting 5+ mortal wounds on those kind of guys. So it's almost an auto, and it's cheap. So I like that. The change I made to these, and I've been dicking around with it for a while. I give a little props to Lennon. He kind of talked me into it because I was hemming and hawing whether I wanted to do it. But I'm going with company veterans with storm shields instead of my 2 units of servitors, because you end up having the same amount of wounds out there. It's 2 guys, 4 wounds. But now instead of just picking guys up, you're sitting at a 2-up, 4-up. You know what I mean? They're not the end of the world. They're still just chainsword idiots. They're company veterans, you know what I mean? But storm shields on both, and they're 48 points versus 30 points. They're not that much more, and they can sit there for longer, engage. You have to go dig them out. If I take them, I do scramblers, do whatever. I get an extra point all the time for engage. I just put them in the way back, in the corner. Feel free to come dig out, 2 guys that have a 2-up, 4-up, probably a 1-up, because I'll just be touching cover by that time with light cover. And so I really liked it. And then I've got
That's really cool.
2 units of 3 eradicators because, well, I'm salamanders. It exists. I've got the Primaris, Chief Apothecary, Selfless here. That guy's just a fucking auto take now. He's just so jacked. And then I switched it around a little bit because I dropped 1 unit of eradicators and I took 2 multi-melta bikes. And the reason I took them is because I was having such a trouble sometimes bringing in the eradicators, and then they would just not be able to get in the fight evermore. And they took away the double shot if you advance, so you can't just use that advance to try to get back into the game and still remain effective. So it's a little bit more difficult with the eradicators. They're still super good, don't get me wrong. I mean, people can keep bitching about them and everything else, but I really, really like the ability to shoot up 14 inches with no penalties, you know what I mean? Shoot 4 multi-meltas. I'm still getting all the salamander props, you know what I mean? But now I don't have to worry about going, hey man, I shot something in the back corner. What are you going to do? You're like, probably nothing, because I'm super far away and I move 5 inches. And if I run, I lose my half of my shots. Yeah. So that's kind of where I am list design right now. And I feel pretty confident because I've been playing against a lot of different shit. I've played against Sisters, I've played Necrons, I've played against White Scars, I played against Harlequins a bit, you know what I mean? Of course, I've got my games in against old CK with his Tau, his poor Tau. We've basically convinced him that he's going to have to bring his Harlequins, to start bringing his Harlequins to the tournaments if he wants to crush it out, just because Tau are not in the best place. I think we made the best list for him. He's showing up. I think he's going to bring Tau this weekend.
Of course he is.
And then Sniggs has waited until the very last second to make up his mind because he's a little too busy painting my models. So
very good.
He wanted to bring Krons, and I think he's going to bring the old White Scars.
Oh, that a boy.
Tried and true. Just bring the best chapter. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what I want to bring. Maybe I should just bring the best guys.
Yeah. So, we went through your list. What are the general concepts? What are we looking at doing here?
The biggest thing is that I have a big block. I want some hand-to-hand. I wanted more hand-to-hand than I had before, which is why I have the Vanguard Vets in there. I still have the Aggressors in there. And I'm taking the Chaplain as kind of a beat stick as opposed to a buff guy. So he can come wreak havoc because he's got 7 strength, 8, as long as he gets his litany off, of course. damage 4 attacks, and then the captain's running around just being difficult, hard to kill at 2 flat damage, and then you've got the Vanguard Vets, which do a ridiculously surprising amount of damage, especially at +1 to wound, which is another reason why I'm excited to do some Blood Angels with them coming up here. But man, they just do so much work rerolling all the wounds. Especially if they're near the chaplain. A lot of times I'll pop Hate and then +1 to wound on them and send them on. Getting them all the rerolls on that. It just does some serious damage on that. Because of the fact, you're AP2. Obviously you go into the assault phase, you're AP3, so you're getting pretty consistent through people's saves, even if they have great saves. And then you're rerolling all the wounds, so you're just getting, and that's 4 attacks of dudes. You know what I mean? So you're getting 41 attacks from that squad if the whole squad's together. Especially with rerolls, you're just putting out a lot of consistent damage from them to pick things up, pick a full unit of warriors up, pick up whatever you're looking to hit. And then of course it's salamanders, so I want all the melta shenanigans. +1 to wound on turns 2 and 3. I can obviously pop the strat to be in all of them if I want to in turn 1, using the stratagem to go into, so I can utilize that, and I get a little bit more of that on turn 1. I can have some options to do things with the multi-melta attack bikes. Tell you the truth, I have a little bit more reach out and touch you because of the 14-inch move, and then 24-inch gun. I can actually get up on top of things and put the beats on it a little bit, and they're durable. They're durable bikes. They're not ATV bikes. I'm still worried about whether or not the FAQ is going to drop, and they're going to just basically have the Primaris Apothecary is not going to work on them. I'm still waiting on buying my very expensive ATV bikes and then going, oh, they don't work with what I wanted them to work with. Oh, cool. I'll just throw them in the garbage over here. Nothing to worry about here. They only cost $120 or whatever the hell they cost right now. They're not cheap. Even in your fancily colorful money, it's not cheap. You know what I mean? It's
No, they're not. They're definitely not cheap. Okay, so the meta's kind of all over the place, and I think you've talked about that a few times. So with the meta being all over the place, what are you scared about? That's seen in other armies on the list.
Sisters are super tough. Sisters played by somebody really good is really hard to deal with, especially the list I've been talking about. Just the Bloody Rose with the, you don't have to, but it's basically you bring triple Repentia, double Zephyrim, and then 2 units of multi-melta. I like the multi-melta to be in the Martyred Sister, but you don't have to. You know what I mean? It just gives you extra miracle dice. That army is just nuts. Catherine's actually surprisingly, crazily hard to get rid of, just because of the fact they can miracle dice saves. You know what I mean? So she can just dump invuln saves into you. You're like, cool, I got 3 melta wounds, and you're like, no thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and just pass all those automatically. Right. And you're like, well, shit, she's still just irritating. And all those units can hit so hard, and they have enough dumpster units. They're taking the board. They have Crusaders and other shit to do the same shit. Take their secondaries, take their engages, take their scramblers, take the middle of the board. And the problem is going first against them sucks a little bit more for me because I'm not just a huge dump-in assault type army. So I want to take the Oath secondary for Marines, but in taking that, if I go first, it's tougher because all of the things happen at the end of the battle round. So it's so much easier to take the middle, and then just, if you go second, then if you take, you go first, and then they have a chance to just punch you off, whatever unit you put up there. They get the chance to just kill you the hell off of it. So they're a super nasty army. I think Krons are fantastic at killing Marines. I just think it's a great counter for Marines. You have to be tooled up a little bit. I think that luckily I've played against them enough in playtesting here to get a better feel for it. But having an entire OBSEC army with difficult to kill army units, the Scarabs that are the army I thought about running is the 3 Scarabs, double Spider, double Destroyers, the Scorpax, the Elites, and then 40 Warriors, Xeris, a Nightbringer, and give a 5-up invuln to your one of your units, Chronomaster, and then a kind of command barge. That army is just nuts because it moves. You can just put 6-inch move before it basically moves to the middle of the board right away, and then it's all OPSEC. So like, I move up and you just don't kill a scarab or something. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, your unit of fast attack, whatever moved up, your outriders, your vanguard vets, your whatever that went up and punched, takes 0 wounds but left one wound on one scarab. All of a sudden you just lost that objective because they're OPSEC, and then the destroyers come in. They've got multiple layers of attack for you, and they can really run up the progressive on you because of the fact that they're all OPSEC. It's just really hard to deal with because they're very, very durable. So I played a decent amount against that. Those would be the 2 armies that I'm the most afraid of. Obviously, White Scars exist, super, super good. I've played a lot against it, so I feel like I've got, even though it's one of the strongest armies, arguably, in the argument for strongest army, I feel like I've played enough against it where I think I know what exactly how to play against it, kind of thing. So that's there on that. So I feel confident of where I am with the army and everything else. Also, I feel like I just go spread it a little bit, so I like it a lot. The sun changed completely. We started recording, and then all of a sudden the sun dropped just a little bit, and I was like shadow on my face. That's cool. It just gives us a little more Vulcan behind me. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's more impressive than me anyways. He doesn't die. But that's where I am, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling for the tournament. I feel very, very strong. Knock on whatever the hell my desk is made of.
Yeah.
But just whatever. I feel confident going in. You know what I mean? I've been playing really, really well with the Salamanders. There was probably a list that I could have gone with that would probably be arguably better than the list I'm playing right now. But I like to always go to whatever I have the most reps with. So It was either going to be this, or I was going to bring my Harlequins with 3 units of spears list, and I think that's a really, really good list also. So it just has a ton of movement. I don't know how well it does against Necrons right now, and I'm not 100% sure how it would do against Sisters, but I think that there's just going to be a decent amount of people there for sure that are bringing Crons. It's just the new hotness, you know what I mean? And so you're always going to see whoever's bringing the new. So I'm assuming I'm going to play Crons, I'm going to play Marines a lot more than anything else, because those are the 2 new books that came out. I mean, why wouldn't you play the new stuff, basically? You know what I mean? It's just
for sure
one of those things. So that's where I am on that. When are you guys going to be opened up to rock some stuff?
I think some of the tournaments that we've been looking at have been closed. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, I think I have an event. I was scheduled to go to an event next weekend. So get my Marines underway.
All of the stuff.
They're green, but they're darker green.
So, with some secrets. I heard they have secrets. They got some.
They love secrets.
They got a little bit of skeletons in the closet. You know what I mean? They got some problems.
No, I'm stoked to have a Terminator army. I'm really excited to drop down Terminators. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see. So if you haven't seen, we did a video on kind of building the Dark Angels list. So I believe it's on your Twitch stream. So this is kind of the before the tournament. So we're definitely going to do a video after the tournament, right after the tournament.
I still have a smile on my face.
Yeah. So Brad's going to do his best at writing down who he plays and kind of what happened, the general thing that happened.
I'm not writing shit down. It's on BCP. I'll be fine.
So he's gonna kind of let us know how his games went, and we'll wait, and we won't tell with the results until the end. But if he smiles at the beginning, you'll know for sure.
Exactly. Well, all right, we will see you then. Thanks.
All right, man. Have a good one.
So if you want to keep the OMB out of this destroyed wasteland right behind me, go down to my Patreon, patreon.com/Brad Chester. Throw $1, $2, anything you want. Helps me doing some content and staying out of the nuclear blast.